Hello everyone. Welcome back to TodayNewsKWave channel. Since BTS's debut in 2013, Jimin and Jungkook have often been described as a close, natural, and inseparable couple. Many ARMYs still remember how, in their early trainee days, the two were each other's pillars, even though Jungkook was still very young, while Jimin came across as the doting hyung. As time went on, their closeness, instead of growing apart, grew stronger, as if the stage and life behind the camera could never separate them. On stage, Jimin and Jungkook often seem like polar opposites, always drawn to each other. When the music starts playing and the spotlight shines on them, somehow, their footsteps often lead towards each other. There's an intimacy that's hard to put into words. Sometimes it's just a brief, meaningful glance, a small touch on the arm, or just a faint smile they share amidst a sea of hysterical fans. But for ARMYs who pay attention to detail, these are all small signs that build a larger narrative about the depth of their relationship. Not only that, there are many moments where Jungkook seems to care for Jimin more than just a bandmate. There are times when he glances at Jimin between songs, making sure his hyung is okay, especially when the choreography is particularly intense and tiring. Conversely, Jimin is often the first to reach out to Jungkook when the maknae looks exhausted. A pat on the back or simply handing him a water bottle seems to be a form of love that needs no words. Offstage, their closeness is even more evident. From travel vlogs, behind the scenes, to live broadcasts, their chemistry always comes naturally. Jungkook, who is usually seen as shy and somewhat reserved, often becomes more expressive when he's with Jimin. He'll smile wider, laugh louder, and even dare to do silly things he might never do with other members. Jimin, with his gentle nature, always knows how to make Jungkook feel comfortable and safe. Fans often capture small but meaningful moments, like when the camera isn't focused on them, but Jimin and Jungkook still find each other. There's the habit of them sitting close together backstage, sharing earphones, or simply conversing with their faces so close that it feels like the world around them disappears. ARMYs cite these moments as clear evidence that their closeness isn't fabricated, but rather born of a deep trust and need for each other. What makes this story even more beautiful, however, is how they maintain that closeness so elegantly. It never feels overdone, never feels artificial. In fact, the more they try to appear natural, the more fans realize there's something more than friendship between them. Observant ARMYs know all too well that there's a certain look Jimin only gives Jungkook, and a certain smile Jungkook only shows when he sees Jimin. Their long journey on the global stage has shown that their relationship is more than just a coworker imposed by the entertainment industry. From concerts in big cities to rehearsals in small studios, from long nights in their dorms to tense international interviews, Jimin and Jungkook always seem perfectly matched. For many, this closeness is part of BTS's appeal as a group. But for ARMYs who believe in Jikook, it's a love story that grows slowly but surely, wrapped in music, hard work, and unwavering togetherness. And it's from these on-stage and off-camera moments that so many moments emerge that leave fans both suspicious and convinced. There's something deeper between them. These moments, though simple, fuel the belief in millions of hearts around the world that true love sometimes needs no words. From the beginning, ARMYs have been accustomed to paying attention to the small details of every interaction between the BTS members. But when it comes to Jimin and Jungkook, those details never feel small. It's precisely from the smallest details that emerge the moments that ultimately build a greater belief that there's a love beyond friendship. One of the most talked about moments is when the camera captured their brief interaction backstage at a concert. In a widely circulated clip, Jungkook is seen reflexively brushing Jimin's hair away from his face, which was covered in sweat. The touch was so gentle, so natural, that it made many fans forget to breathe. For some, well, it might have just been an act of concern between friends. But for those who believe in Jungkook, the look in Jungkook's eyes at that moment spoke louder than 1,000 words. It was a gaze full of admiration, as if he was looking at someone more than just a partner on stage. Perhaps one of the most iconic moments that captivated ARMYs was when the two were caught on camera sharing earphones in a waiting room. The simple scene quickly spread across social media. Imagine, amidst their busy lives, the spotlight, and their packed schedules, they chose to isolate themselves from the outside world with just a pair of earphones, sharing music, and perhaps even feelings that only they understood. Many fans wrote, "That's not just sharing earphones, that's sharing the world." Fans' suspicions grew when they noticed how Jimin and Jungkook frequently made eye contact. In various concert fan cams, it was clear that when the stage lights changed and the formation shifted, Jungkook always checked Jimin's position. Likewise, Jimin occasionally glanced at Jungkook, even when he should have been focusing on the choreography. Their gazes often met at moments that were almost impossible to manage. And each time, the fans' screams grew louder, as if the entire stadium knew they had just witnessed something truly special. There was also a moment when Jimin straightened Jungkook's clothes in front of the camera. Simple gestures, like adjusting a collar or straightening a jacket, were executed with an unusual gentleness. Jungkook never refused. In fact, he seemed to revel in the attention with a small smile that only appeared in certain situations. Fans interpreted Jimin as having a protective side, as a hyung, but Jungkook's response revealed a much deeper sense of comfort. Fans also couldn't forget the incident during an international interview where they discussed their ideal types. When asked, Jungkook glanced at Jimin before nervously answering. Meanwhile, Jimin simply chuckled and looked down. That moment sparked thousands of theories in the fandom community. Many assumed they harbored feelings for each other that were difficult to express openly. So any questions about love always led them to the same direction: each other. And that's Jimin and Jungkook's love story, finally revealed to the world. A long journey filled with glances, smiles, and small moments that we could only feel as whispers of love. Today, they have proven that true love doesn't need to be hidden because in the end, love always finds a way. To you, armies around the world, thank you for watching, feeling, and supporting their journey. Don't forget to continue giving your love, because this story doesn't just belong to Jimin and Jungkook, but also to all of us who believe that love is real. See you in the next video, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the love-filled Stories Today News K-Wave channel. Saranghyo Army Purple Heart Sparkles.